What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and apologize for the mistake I made yesterday because my opinion has shifted. The technicals are showing something completely different, and I'm actually very bullish for this week. I'm also going to talk about the short squeeze potential that Tesla has and why it's still perpetuating, and what the news is saying involving a potential Tesla stock split that makes me very excited. I'm going to end the video then by talking about what the man, the myth, the legend Elon Musk has been tweeting about that makes me very excited for the future. Now, before I do any technical analysis, before I talk about the share price, I do have to mention a couple of very important things first. The first thing is, I'm not a financial planner, as you guys know, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you do sign up with Webull and deposit any amount of money, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. Any amount of money, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks if you sign up with my link down below. When I signed up, I got a free Apple share and also some free Neo. So if you want this chance, please check out the offer. It's a limited time offer that ends in just a couple of days. So please check it out to get your guaranteed 5 free stocks. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we had another monstrous day, up 8.03% for the day. Let's go, guys. And I did make that mistake. Okay, I do apologize to you guys. The reason I made that mistake is this. So what happened to Tesla last week was we ran up to 1040, then we started descending, and I was starting to see that curl from the MACD. There were lots of bearish indicators, but then we exploded this morning, and that's because we are not experiencing a typical Tesla move. Look at the daily candles. Okay, this is totally not natural. We've never seen this in over a year. We had 10 green days in a row. That is unheard of. It's not natural. It's insane because we are experiencing not just anticipation for the big news, for the grand opening of the Texas Gigafactory, for delivery numbers that are coming out, but it's also a short squeeze, right? It's also a short squeeze that's happening right now. In just the last 10 days, we were in the 750 range. We're already almost at 1,100, and we are breaking that very soon, in my opinion. So the mistake I made was I did see some pullback because I initially thought, based off technicals, we hit a plateau at like 1040. I was wrong about that. We ended up just running, and technicals didn't even show that. I mean, it's just so crazy. Now, we do have a gap right here, and I don't expect this gap to get filled this week. It's going to take us back down to 1000. So, yeah, I was right about a pullback down to like the 1000 range, but I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I don't think it's going to happen next week. It's probably going to take a few weeks for that to happen, just a healthy pullback. But at the end of the day, I'm still very bullish, and I think this thing has lots more room to run for the next upcoming days in anticipation of next week. It's absolutely incredible, and I do apologize for the mistake I made. I'm not always going to be right. Technical analysis is not always perfect. It's just that we are experiencing something that's like not, how should I say, it's not as common. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to read, and that's the short squeeze. So I want to just explain what a short squeeze is for you guys. I'm going to make it very simple. The key takeaways are this: a short squeeze accelerates a stock's price rise as short sellers bail out to cut their losses. Many investors try to anticipate a short squeeze and buy stocks that demonstrate high short interest, right? Short squeeze interest. So what's happening is people did something crazy, or I wouldn't say it's crazy, it just wasn't the greatest of moves. And they shorted the daylight out of Tesla when this thing was at the 1200 range. So the reason why this thing dropped so hard, it wasn't just, the market cycle. It played a role, but it's not just that. These shorts, these institutions, these hedge funds, they started shorting the living hell out of Tesla. And some people say there could be manipulation. I'm not going to get into details about that. It definitely played a role, but don't worry about that right now. They shorted this thing to oblivion. They just shorted it all the way down to 700. And what happened was, and this is something I talked about in one of my previous videos, the collateral for these shorts dissipated. And that's because of the Evergrande situation in China. That's one of the reasons. So what happened was, in China, there's a big company known as Evergrande, and they essentially defaulted on their debt. So big companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, they use that money as collateral to short companies. So they lost that collateral, and it's very hard for them to meet their margin requirements. And then another thing is, what about the Russian bonds? Russian bonds are falling almost worthless. As we're seeing Russia, what's happening with Russia and Ukraine, the bonds that these American companies had been investing in are becoming worthless because Russia is now being cut off from the West. So when losing this collateral, the shorts had a hard time maintaining their positions. And as a result, when the bulls took over the entire market, right? The bulls have control. Tesla starts running up, and then they get margin called, and they realized, oh wow, we can't control these positions. So they start covering their short positions, they start buying the stock, and you could see what happened, right? In just 10 days, we went from the 700s all the way up to almost 1,100, and we're about to break that, in my opinion. And I don't think it's done yet. I initially thought we were done at 1,040. That's what the chart kind of showed. We weren't done. We just kept going and going and going. I think that options also play a role. If a lot of them are in the money unexpectedly, it could lead to delta hedging too. I mean, it's just insane what's going on. And the big thing to take away from this is the fact that it could be unpredictable, but right now it looks like it's just starting to run. And I think what happened was a lot of retail, a lot of institutions started loading the boat on Tesla shares too. So we start to see a pickup in the volume. The volume is doing a lot better. And with all this going on, I think there's a lot of excitement for the big Texas Gigafactory opening. It's going to be massive. So I don't see the share price crashing after that. I see us just running and running and running. It's looking really strong right now. There may be some consolidation in this range, but like I said, I think we're going to soar past 1100 very, very soon. That's my price target. I think we're going to soar well past that. So I'm very, very bullish. Now, here's the thing about the short squeeze. Okay. The RSI of this thing is very, very overbought. If I actually bring up the 2 hour candles, that's going to look a lot better. RSI is pretty overbought right now. So there will be a pullback, but not necessarily this week, maybe not in 2 weeks. It may take a month for it to happen, maybe a couple of weeks. That is the way I'm seeing it. It's probably going to happen because we have this big gap right here. And the gap is going to bring us back down to maybe the $1,000 range. Maybe 1,000 will act as support. And I did call for a potential pullback. It's just that I called that a little bit too early. This thing looks like it still has room to run. So this is how I see this going. I think it's going to hold up pretty darn well in this range. I think it's going to continue to soar to the $1,100 range. And then we're going to have the opening of the Texas Gigafactory, the big party. And we also have delivery numbers. I mean, it's going to be insane. And this thing does not look like it's going to fill that gap this week or for, some time. We might just keep running and running and running to the $1,200 range. It's very possible. And it's not natural, which is why it's a little bit hard to read, because it's natural. It's just it's so uncommon, right? It's so unnatural, like for the stock to run this much in just such a short period of time. But it does not matter. I'm still actually very bullish. This thing is not done yet. After we cool off at the top, there might be some more pulling back. I just called it a little bit too early, so I apologize for that. But anyways, I'm excited. I'm very excited for what on earth is coming out. Let's look at some headlines real quick. But before I do that, let's just look at some other crazy things. Looking at AMC, up 45% for the day. Congratulations to everyone that made a lot of money off AMC calls, off their AMC shares. And I know the majority didn't even sell. I mean, I'm excited too. I think this thing has lots of room to run. GME as well. GME is doing very, very well. NEO is holding up pretty darn well. And here's something interesting about NEO. Look at the 2 hour chart. We have another gap down here at not the 20. We had another gap somewhere. I think right here. NEO also has a gap down here in the, I would say, $1980 range. So NEO may also pull back at the same time that Tesla does in the future. I just don't see it happening that soon. I think it's going to take a little bit of time as we have the big opening, and I'm still very bullish actually. So I'm sorry, guys, for the mistake I made. I'm not always going to be correct. Technical analysis is not always going to be perfect, but right now it's looking pretty darn good. and it can help you because we do have this gap that's most likely going to get filled in the future. Like I said, it may not happen very soon, it may take a month, but at the end of the day, it's looking very strong. I'm very excited. Now, as I am bullish for this week, I want to talk about some big announcements that are coming up. Looking at this right over here, we are seeing CNBC report that Tesla wants to split its stock so it could pay a stock dividend. Shares gain. Once again, the SEC filing said that the electric car maker will ask its annual shareholders at the meeting for an increase in the number of authorized shares of common stock in order to enable a stock split of the company's common stock in the form of a stock dividend. Once again, we don't truly know to what degree they're going to do this, but that is going to be huge for investors, and the stock is just rallying because of that. On top of that, we do have other big pieces of news coming out, such as this right here. We're going to see the opening of the Giga Texas. I'm so excited for this, guys. This is going to be huge. And on top of that, we're seeing big upgrades coming out involving a big mega pack projects to really, really help them accommodate for their electric grid. Now, the reason why this is awesome is they're actually going to be taking advantage of the sun. Many drones that were flying over saw that they're building large solar arrays all over the place on the rooftop, and that's going to be awesome. The panels are expected to spell out Tesla from the sky. I mean, I just can't wait for what the future holds. This is very good. The company is doing so well. Now, there was one thing that came out that I just wanted to talk about, and that is this was on the news too. Elon Musk has the virus. It shouldn't be too concerning, too bad. I definitely wish the best for him. He actually tweeted it right over here. You can see the tweet right here. He stated that I supposedly have it again, sigh, but almost no symptoms. And he's talking about, the virus, the thing no one wants to be talking about. So I just wish him the best. I wish him a very healthy recovery, even though he does not have symptoms or he claims he doesn't. So wish him the best. Really, really take care, Elon, because we have big dates coming. And take care, man. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I think he's going to have a great recovery. And I just think he's very excited too, because we have some amazing announcements. Now, we're also seeing this right here. People are talking about the fact that there was some vandalism on a Tesla, and as a result, they want Elon Musk to enable Sentry Mode in Israel, the country of Israel. So, as a result, what did Elon Musk say? He actually replied and said he's looking into it. When do you see a CEO that actually looks at tweets from everyday people and replies to them and actually takes what they say into consideration? It's very rare, and Elon Musk is no surprise to that. The last thing I wanted to talk about is this right over here. Actually, no, not necessarily. I just think that things are looking very awesome. Elon Musk has made some big progress with SpaceX as well. Wanted to just give him a big shout out. Not necessarily, anything too relevant to Tesla, but it's just fantastic. So, anyways, going forward, mistakes will be made here and there, but it's actually looking very bullish. My price target for tomorrow is I think we're going to soar past 1,100. I think we really want to see this thing, soar past that level. There's a psychological level there. We may have some resistance there, but I think we could break it very soon. And I just think that there's so much excitement for a potential stock split, the excitement for the Texas Gigafactory, all these big things coming out. I just don't see this thing dropping back down to $1,000. I would be very surprised if that happens. I just don't see that. I think we're just going to soar and soar and soar. And maybe in the upcoming weeks, maybe in a month or so, we do fill this gap. I mean, it doesn't have to happen overnight, but at the end of the day, I'm very bullish. I'm very excited. I can't wait for what the future holds. And this stock looks like it really wants to leave this planet and fly to Pluto. Anyways, take care, everyone. Congratulations to everyone that's a part of this play. Never ever quit on your dreams, and Tesla is going to the moon. I thank you. Have a great rest of the day. And I do apologize once again for the mistake I made. It happens, but never ever quit, guys. We learn from our mistakes and we are going to do better every single day. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day. Take care and get ready for tomorrow. Peace out.